All right, welcome. It's Tuesday. We're live again here in Enoch, and today we are outside the city offices. We got Earl and Shelly here with us from Public Works. Say hi, Earl.
Hello.
One thing that we're trying to do is help everybody get informed as far as the different aspects of living in Enoch. And one thing that we get a lot of calls about is our water system. We get people contacting the office, wanting to know how it works, where the access points are, and the different mechanisms that are on their property. So what we've decided to do today is we've got Earl and Shelly out here, and we've got a setup to show what is out in front of your house, how to turn it on, how to turn it off, and the different concerns that we get a lot of because not everybody understands exactly how to deal with their sprinkler systems. So I'm going to let Earl kind of give us a little bit of tour here as far as what's going on with our setup here.
So you want to look right down here. This is what you will find in front of your house. A meter lid, that is all it's showing. There might be a white pipe sticking up for access. But this is basically what you'll find in your front yard. Above ground. Below ground, this is what is actually down there. There's just the lid. This is what you see on the ground. If you take a wrench, you can take the lid off and look down in. And for today, so you can see better, I'll actually take the lid off and show you what goes down under here. There's a meter barrel. You can take the meter barrel off. There's the meter that reads tells how much water you use. This right here leads to a valve that is for city use only. It's just occasionally we need to be able to shut the water off, and that's what this valve is for. Then the water comes from the main line, which is out in the street, comes through this valve, through your meter, and then right down here you'll see a T. And what this is a valve that goes for your own sprinkler system. And this side comes on out and goes to your home. So that you can have water to your home and to your sprinkler system. One of the questions that I know that we have is, how do you winterize your sprinkler system in the winter time? When you've got this pipe sticking up up out of the ground, you just take the lid off. Maybe the lid's not going to come off today. There, it's off. And at the bottom of that 2-inch pipe, there is called a stop and waste valve. When you see the handle, when it's crossways of the way the line is running, that means it is off. To turn it on, in the spring, you turn it 1/4 turn till your handle runs the same way as your water line. That's on. When you shut it back off in the winter time, it's a 1/4 turn back. And what a stop and waste valve is in the side of the valve down here, there's a hole, and it drains all the water from your sprinkler system and this down and out so it won't freeze in the winter time, so your pipes won't freeze. And then you open this valve here and let air in, or your sprinkler valves, so that the air can get in and let your system drain. And then on your meter right here, there is a valve that you can turn on and off. Enoch City policy says that you should contact the city whenever you need your water turned on and off, and we'll come and do it for you. If you're in the middle of the night or you got water flooding your basement, by all means go out and pull the lid off and shut it off, and then contact us so that you're not flooding your house. In an emergency, you can go ahead and turn this off, and all it is you'll see there's loops here. You just line those loops up to turn it off. And when you want to turn it on, you just turn it the other way. It's a quarter turn valve also. Yeah, make sure that all your valves, whenever you turn them, are all the way on, all the way off. And then I believe now there's maybe some questions that they wanted to ask that I'll try to answer for you.
All right. Yeah, we do. We get a lot of common questions. So, Earl, one that comes in all the time, what is a stop and waste?
Okay, I slightly explained that before. Stop and waste is a valve that comes off from your main line and goes to your sprinkler system. And it is for draining your system in the winter so that it won't freeze. When it's all the way on, the water flows to your sprinkler system. When you turn it off, there's a little hole inside the valve that lets the water drain out so your system will not freeze in the wintertime. And that needs to be done by every citizen in the wintertime before it starts freezing. Shut it off, and then when you're ready to start up your sprinkler system in the spring, turn it back on.
Great. Now, how would somebody winterize their sprinkler system and then de-winterize it in the spring?
Okay, and I kind of explained that with the stop and waste. That is what you use to winterize and de-winterize, is that valve, and there'll be a pipe on the top like this is what you'll see, and you just take the lid off, stick your key down in there, and turn it on and off for the winter time. Turn it off in the winter time and back on in the springtime, so your sprinklers will work.
So it'll all empty itself out.
So it will empty itself out if you turn that valve off. It'll drain all your water back from your sprinkler system and your tap here.
So they don't actually have to do much other than just turn it out of there and let it drain.
Yep. Just main thing is if you open the valve up or something to let the air in so that it won't create a vacuum.
Okay, great. How much water can they use every month?
Okay, the bill you get for the $24 is for 30,000 gallons. If you have if you do not have secondary system, you get 30,000 gallons of water, and that's for the $24.
What's a secondary system?
Okay, the secondary system is in only certain areas of the city, in the Field subdivision, the Three Peaks subdivision. You will also have one of these meter barrels in your backyard, and that is what you hook your sprinkler system to, your irrigation system. And you need to do the same thing with it, winterize it, drain it in the wintertime. It's got a stop and waste valve that you can drain the water out. And so that's the one you winterize in the wintertime. You don't want to turn your main one off.
Are there any watering restrictions that people in our community need to be aware of?
The only watering restrictions at this point is, there aren't any right now, but in the summertime we like you to turn your water off by 10 in the morning till 6 at night. Usually it's too windy and hot around here. You lose a lot of water to evaporation, and it doesn't hit where you want to because of the wind blowing. So we require you to just water at night and in the evenings.
So they should probably start planning now for when they get their sprinkler timers set up, and
set your timer up so it doesn't shuts off at 10 o'clock in the morning and doesn't come on until 6 in the evening.
What are blue stakes, Earl? What do the people need to be aware of as far as that goes?
Blue stakes is a system that it's required by the state that if you're going to dig in your yard, turn the soil or anything, you need to call in. It's an easy number. You just call 811 and they'll ask you for your name and address, and then they'll come and mark, and so that you don't hit any water lines, power lines, gas lines, any of the utility lines in your yard.
Now, some people, I guess, they don't know that a secondary system is different, or that a secondary system is the irrigation system. And that is separate from a culinary system. Is that right?
Yes, we do have a secondary system in just certain parts of the city. In the Three Peaks subdivision and the Field subdivision are the only ones we have it in right now. At some point we may expand that, but for right now those are the only ones, and their water is different. I'm not exactly sure how many gallons you're supposed to get. You have a different amount for culinary and secondary on that, but those are on that system know how much they get.
All right. Well, there's a brief overview of your water system and what you need to be concerned about when you're doing your sprinklers. We appreciate Earl and Shelley getting out with us this morning. If there's anything that you guys out there in the community would like us to touch on, to get an answer to for you, we'd be happy to hear from you. Post some comments on our Facebook page and let us know. We also, like I said last week, we're going to be trying to meet with all of the different local businesses. And if there's anybody out there that is a business owner that would like to be one of the first, if you don't, I'll be reaching out to you anyway. So we'd love to have you let us know that we could come by and spotlight your business. But we're hoping that we can start showing you all the great things that are Enoch City, and we will be back again next week, Tuesday morning. Make sure you join us at 9 a.m. every Tuesday. We'll see you then. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.